Hello out there. Welcome to our Black History Month virtual workshop series. We are so excited to be here in our greenhouse with Charisse Daniels and Alex Booker to share about their organization, ASE Cooperative, that they co-founded along with Sebastian Hassel. So Sebastian can't make it today, but I would love it if y'all would start us off by just introducing yourselves and sharing a little bit about yourselves.
Well, I'm Charisse Daniels Johnson. I'm a mother. I also do some herbalism work in the community and also some facilitation. And I'm also a cooperative builder. And a lot of my work has always been sort of at the intersection of advocacy and justice and communal care. And so I'm just really excited to be able to share space with Alex and talk a little bit about Ashe. But besides that, sort of what brought me to this work is that my mom was a florist, and I used to love to garden with her. I remember when I was little, picking up flowers, wondering what the names were. I never really knew that there was anything beyond that, like a usage or medicine to them, or that they were even edible. And so as an adult, I've been able to play around in that same way. And figure out like what that's like for me, but also be able to do that vicariously with my kiddos. So that's what brings me to this work in particular.
I love that. I love how our moms come with us into our work.
For sure. And again, I'm Alex Booker, and I do a lot of different like growing. I grow out in Black Earth, grow a lot of different African diasporic veggies and herbs. And I'm learning some herbalism from Charisse and some flower organizing from her as well, because I grew up just growing produce and vegetables and just a garden in our backyard. And I didn't really have much experience with flowers and herbs. So that has been a lot more recently for me. Um, I enjoy this type of work that we do as a cooperative because I'm able to pour back into our community while doing something I'm passionate about and something I've always enjoyed and something that's in my bloodline. So that's something really important for me. And a little bit about Sebastian, who is not here. He is from Alabama and he does a lot of growing as well out in Black Earth. And he also has a community organizing background and community planning as well. So he's both viewing the brains and the history of different things in Black agriculture and really tying kind of the Great Migration together through all three of us and how we all have roots in the South and we ended up meeting each other up here in Wisconsin.
Wow, well, y'all are building something beautiful. And, you know, if you have been around Rooted or Badger Rock at all, you probably are very familiar with these faces as well. So, super happy to have y'all back. So, could you share a little bit about that word ashe and why you chose that name for your cooperative?
Yeah, so as we were beginning to think about what a name could be, there's 1,001 possibilities, and I really wanted something that was rooted in our culture. So Ashe is a word that comes from Yoruba, and it's also an African principle that means interconnectedness, and also just recognizing that we all have the ability to affect change, affect evolution within each other and outside of that. And also the letters for Ashe are ASE, so advocacy, support, and empowerment. And the way that we originally met each other, at least Alex and I, and Sebastian as well, is that we were all in institutions working on different projects and things, trying to find ways to convene with one another, to find ways to collaborate on projects and share funding and share knowledge, and share resources in lots of different ways. And we pretty quickly found out that because we were running in the same circles, that we needed to figure out also how to establish something that could outlast just those projects or those funding sources or even those positions. And we cultivated a friendship out of that. And to me, that speaks to the heart of what Ashe is and what it means to be interconnected and how we find one another and grow power with one another, but also that really important part of advocacy, standing with each other as opposed to talking over someone, and also supporting each other from the ground up, right? Like not just this top down effect, but really thinking about the roots rooted. And we were very much a part of those roots, without being able to necessarily sustain our knowledge or to even sometimes own our knowledge, because a lot of times that knowledge would then not be able to follow us if we were to leave a position. And so we wanted to figure out some way to find a way to have some continuity within that, but also to share the knowledge with community so that they would also have some of the keys too, so that institutions weren't just holding that knowledge hostage, that we were also being able to share our culture and the diaspora and the knowledge and the rich knowledge and history of Black and Brown folks in agriculture with one another, but also find ways to help uplift community through that knowledge. And so that's where empowerment came from as well.
You all put so much thought and care into the name of your cooperative. I love that so much. So I know you all also embrace the Fawodi symbol, and I wondered if you could share what that is and why that matters to your cooperative.
So if you're not familiar with the Fawodi symbol, it looks like an X. And it comes from Adinkra, so just like the Sankofa symbol or other symbols that you might be familiar with, it's a symbol that also symbolizes independence, liberation, oftentimes from something, sometimes ourselves, but a lot of times an institution or a system. So for me, it was a way to be able to symbolize both our heritage and our culture and that sort of rooted knowledge in the diaspora that we already know what to do, that our ancestors knew what to do, and they've been giving us this language and these symbols to help liberate us. But I wanted to be able to have that be something other than just, some drawing or something else that could have gone along with the word ashe. It felt really right to make sure that we were using that symbol as a way to signal that what we're trying to do is make sure that we are liberating each other. We're talking about interconnectedness, and the fact that it's Adinkra in particular was really important to me because we do use symbols like Sankofa and things, and it's a way to educate the broader community about the beauty and the richness of those languages, those heritages, those principles that are rooted in African diasporic knowledge.
Yeah, and you all, we'll put the link to their website too in the comments so you can see what that symbol looks like. And they've written some beautiful, there's some beautiful language around a lot of their philosophy and practices on that website too. So don't forget to check that out. And then just as putting some of those thoughts and those feelings that you were saying into practice, just wondering if you all could share a little bit about what you are up to with ASE Cooperative.
So we are actually up to like vamping up a lot of things this year. So previously we all had different positions, full-time work in addition to doing this project, which some people would say part-time, but I feel like it's just another full-time job that we were doing with this work. And so now we've pretty much all of us have found ways to kind of create more time and space for this upcoming year. And so we are actually going to be rolling out more programming to get people more out to the farm out in Black Earth and just in more rural spaces. There's just so much going on digitally. And so we really want people to be able to unplug in safe and vetted areas in nature. And so we have the farm out in Black Earth. We also work with Color in the Outdoors and HorrorCon, and just having places that we know for sure that people will be safe if they come out and enjoy their time. So we're going to do some more of those gatherings. We're always going to find ways to share food with people. So we're going to break bread. There will be meals. There will be ways to share those things. We are also a part of the Heirloom Collard Green Project. And so there will be conversation about the culture of collard greens, the culture of raising greens for seeds, sharing and swapping seeds, the importance of cultivating and seed collecting for yourself and your community. And so there'll be some of those things. And we are also coming out with a CSA this year. So Sebastian and I started off doing a CSA a couple years ago during a drought, of course. And we had a great time. It was so much fun. So exciting. And so we learned a lot.
We all love that drought.
Yes.
All us growers. We're like, woo,
we're like, oh, this is great. This is amazing. And so we took a year off to really refine some practices and get things together, because growing at a certain scale, you just need certain infrastructure and like refrigeration, processing spaces, and all of that. So we've been working on trying to find ways to either put it together ourselves or get funding to get those things together. So we're at a space where we're comfortable enough to roll out another CSA. So we'll be doing that this year and doing pop-ups. So really getting food out to the community is our biggest goal, and getting people to have the knowledge if they want to grow on their own or do herbalism, or if they just want to grow flowers or herbs at home, like figuring out how they can be a little bit more connected to their food system.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing, and I cannot wait to see all these things rolling out. And how can people learn more and get involved and also support your work? a really
Yes.
important piece of all this too.
So you can definitely check us out on the social media, on Facebook and Instagram. They are all the same name, ASE Cooperative. You can reach out to us an email, asecooperative@gmail, or you can look at our website, that's what I would suggest most people kind of move towards, as we know a lot of things are happening via social media, and a lot of things aren't really boosted or seen by people in the community because of how the algorithms work. And so I really encourage everyone to like go and sign up for a newsletter and be able to get that constant thing in your email, so that if something happens and social media is down, you're able to check in and be connected with us. But we will have all of our stuff posted across sites whenever we do a pop-up, whenever we have programming coming up, and any signups. It all will be on the websites and social media.
And I would just add, we're always looking for community partners, because the work that we do and the way that we choose to sustain it, thinking about outside of systems, but also with systems, trying to find ways to partner with organizations to be able to bring our programming to community so that community has access. Because so often we do workshops and things, and we're always so worried about how we can make sure people show up. We have the numbers and all sorts of things, and not so much for the fact of having 15 people show up, but because it's important that institutions are also utilizing their voices to sustain the work that we do. And so something that I have been sort of active in is being a part of the Edible Landscapes Committee. And we are also actively planting with folks like Allied Wellness Center and Kennedy Heights. And so community centers and other folks who may not always typically see themselves as a part of this work, we're always open to working with to make sure that they have the programming that they need, but also that we're uplifting community, and we're doing it in a way that's helping us to organize around food justice, around care. And so that's really important to us. And also we do some demos as well throughout the year. Last year we did a little bit of foraging, which was really cool. That's a little bit newer for us, and helping people learn how to cook with some of those things. So making a weed pesto, which Sarah is familiar with and gave me the recipe for, and I've played around with a little bit. But those types of things are what we're really super interested in this year, is trying to find ways to partner with community to help make programming accessible for folks, so that we're not always asking community to fund itself.
Well, thank you all. You're gonna have a busy season ahead.
Yes.
A busy and beautiful season ahead. And you all, please do check the website, check the social media, but like they were saying, focus in on that website.
Yes.
And don't miss all of the amazing things coming up. I know that we'll be following on our side too. And yeah, you all just keep on building this beautiful dream in this beautiful world that y'all are building in the spaces that you are. And yeah, is there anything else y'all would like to share before we close today?
I would just say, in honor of it being Black History Month, to really consider thinking about the lessons that we've talked about sort of within that African principle, Ashe, and also the Fawodi, and whatever you find out about agriculture, because our ancestors have given us sort of a blueprint to deal with some of the things that are happening now. And so we're tapping into that, but we really want to make sure that other folks are also learning about the ways in which our cultures have touched these different things in order to uplift our communities in times of need, and in times of struggle, and in times of extreme starvation, which aren't just limited to hunger and food, but also community and contact and communal care and mutual aid. So very hopeful that folks will sort of take some of the things that we've said and some of the work that we're doing and find more ways to connect to the diasporic knowledge of what it means to sort of bring down that knowledge to this current day, as opposed to just leaving it in the past and considering that as what ancestors used to do, finding a way to very much bring that into our present lessons that we're learning right now.
I just want to encourage anyone who is interested in growing food, or learning about growing food, or raising animals, or beekeeping, anything agriculture, food system based, reach out to us, like really get connected. We're not trying to glamorize what it is like to be in agriculture. It is truly hard work. And we also want to help people who are looking for a way in or a foot into this world. And so if you have just an idea that you want to get into herbalism, or even you just want to learn how to make a tea blend, reach out to us. We'll be able to help you get connected with the resources, or even if we don't have them at the moment, connect you to a really good source of like natural products. And so we want to work with kind of like the space to to advise people where to go and also be able to help people out. We also have a lot of connections outside of Wisconsin. And so that is one of the benefits of being a part of our like community, is that we do work in different states. You've done work in New Mexico. I've been to upstate New York and done some work with different communities. We all go to a national Black farming conference each year where we connect with people from all over the country who are doing a lot of amazing things. And I think that's really important for us in this moment, is to not get stuck in what's happening right here, but to really learn from and be in community with our community as a whole. And so if that's something that interests you and you just want to even just know when those certain conferences are, you didn't know that there was a Gullah Geechee herbalism conference and you're like, wait, I kind of want to go to this, reach out to us and we'll be able to connect you with those dates and those things, and try to help you find funding to get there as we try to find ourselves funding to get there. Yeah, and that's it.
Great. Well, thank you both so much for taking the time to share. It's beautiful with the backdrop of the plants behind y'all.
Yes,
I feel like those are
is.
very fitting for the energy y'all are bringing to the space, and with your organization, just the things that you're growing and cultivating. So you all do not be shy. Reach out, get connected, and we will see you all next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.